Florence, around the year 1505. Imagine this, a quiet field outside the city walls, right? A group of apprentices, young and eager, gathers around this wooden frame wrapped in canvas and silk. And then there's this bizarre contraption, part bird, part machine, standing before them. It's Leonardo da Vinci, now in his 50s, meticulously tightening a strap, adjusting the levers. He takes a deep breath, and you can just feel the tension in the air. The stillness is almost palpable. And then, with a running start, he leaps into the unknown. And those wings, they catch the wind. For a brief, astonishing moment, this man, this visionary, is flying. History as we know it would never, ever be the same. Now think about it. What if Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance's most brilliant mind, had actually succeeded in building a working flying machine? I mean, seriously, how would... Leonardo da Vinci was so much more than just a painter. He was an engineer, an animist, a mathematician, and a visionary who was truly centuries ahead of his time. Can you believe it? His notebooks brimmed with over 35,000 words and 500 sketches of flying machines. I mean, think about it. From ornithopters that soared by mimicking the beat of wings to the aerial screw, a brilliant concept that was like a precursor to the modern helicopter. Now, in the real world, none of these brilliant designs ever took flight. The materials were simply too heavy, muscle power was too weak, and aerodynamic theory, it was just too primitive. But let me tell you, Leonardo's grasp of lift, drag, and air resistance was astonishingly ahead of its time, almost as if he was in sync with the later discoveries of scientists like Bernoulli and Newton. So just picture this for a moment. What if Da Vinci's... All right, let's dive into this intriguing alternate timeline, shall we? Imagine this, Leonardo, not just a brilliant mind, but now backed by the fierce Cesare Borgia, a real powerhouse of an Italian warlord. Instead of flitting from court to court, begging for commissions, he's got the resources and craftsmen right at his fingertips. This is a game changer. Picture him, fiercely focused, modifying his ornithopter. He's swapping those flapping wings for sleek, rigid surfaces, using thin cedar ribs and tightly stretched silk. He's dramatically cutting down the weight. And from the breathtaking cliffs of Tuscany, he's experimenting, truly pushing the boundaries of flight. Can you see it? He creates a glider that can actually control descent and achieve limited lift. By 1505, he's done it. Leonardo achieves sustained human flight, and his apprentices are right there, witnessing history. You know, with flight finally proven possible, it's like, wow, Leonardo's work ignites this immediate wave of scientific investigation, right? Universities in Bologna, Padua, and Paris, they dive into studying the physics of air pressure and lift. And Renaissance Italy, already this incredible hub of artistic and scientific brilliance, shifts its focus, its innovation aimed skyward. Engineers take Leonardo's models and refine them, introducing these improved balancing systems and glider frames that can carry more weight. But it doesn't stop there. Flying machines take on a whole new purpose beyond just curiosity. They become tools for reconnaissance. City-states like Venice and Florence, always at war with their rivals, they recognize the strategic advantage of aerial observation. Even without engines, gliders launched from towers can give them unprecedented views of enemy formations and fortifications. You see, in our real timeline, Leonardo's incredible designs, they were never brought to life. Why? Because, honestly, the Renaissance simply lacked the technological infrastructure to make them a reality. The principles of lift and thrust, they weren't even quantified yet. And let's not forget, steel and aluminum, they were nowhere to be found in a usable form. Engines capable of sustained propulsion, yeah, they wouldn't show up until the 19th century. Now, those mechanical insights of Leonardo, they were rediscovered centuries later. And it's fascinating. His concept of the aerial screw, it's like a direct line to modern helicopters. And his glider designs, they anticipated what the Wright Brothers did with control surfaces for stability. But let's face it, in reality, flight remained nothing more than a dream. It wasn't until 1903, with the Wright Brothers at Kitty. All right, let's break this down step by step. because it's crucial to understand the ripple effects of Leonardo's magnificent flight, right? Step 1. Demonstration and documentation. Imagine this. Leonardo's triumph is not just a footnote in history, it's celebrated. Engineers in Florence and Milan are buzzing with excitement, recording his genius and replicating his designs. His once hidden notebooks, they're being copied and translated, making the mechanics of air a respected field of study. Can you see it? The birth of a scientific discipline. Step 2, spread of aerial craftsmanship. Fast forward. Wealthy patrons are commissioning gliders, not just for fun, but as symbols of status. Picture bustling workshops specializing in the finest flight materials. And let's not forget Leonardo's apprentices like Francesco Melzi, who take the mantle, refining and sharing his legacy after his passing in 1519. The cultural effects would be profound, let me tell you. 1. Religion and philosophy? Just imagine. Flight would compel theologians to seriously reconsider humanity's place in creation. I mean, the very idea of man sharing the skies with angels, that could blur the lines between the divine and the mortal, wouldn't it? The Reformation, already bubbling under the surface, might just gain unprecedented momentum as people start questioning spiritual authority like never before. 2. Science and mathematics. Oh, and think about Leonardo. His success would legitimize experimentation and direct observation as valid paths to truth. This could bolster early empiricism, possibly influencing great minds like Galileo, Kepler, and Newton decades earlier than we know them. Physics, as a formal discipline, it could actually arise in the 1500s instead of the 1600s. 3. Art and humanism. The artistic fascination. If Leonardo da Vinci had actually taken to the skies, I really believe the Renaissance would have shifted gears. It could have transformed into this era where engineering reigned supreme instead of art. Just think about it. Humanity's perception of itself would be forever altered. The idea of man as divine image would have turned real, right? Humans soaring through the heavens, those realms once thought to be the exclusive domain of gods and angels. It could have sparked this wave of optimism and unity, but it could also have led to arrogance and domination. Picture Europe expanding its reach with even more intensity, using flight as a means of surveillance and control. The very technology that stands for freedom might have morphed into a tool of empire. And yet, on the flip side, earlier scientific breakthroughs could have shattered centuries of superstition and resistance to new ideas. You see, Leonardo da Vinci's quest to fly, it wasn't a lack of imagination, no. It was a struggle against the limitations of his materials, his resources, and the timing of his era. His understanding of flight, it was light years ahead. But the world around him, it just wasn't ready for such brilliance. Now imagine if his flying machine had taken to the skies. Oh, humanity's narrative would have soared to new heights. The Renaissance wouldn't just have been about the rebirth of art and learning, but we would have witnessed the actual conquest of the skies. Think about it. That early success could have sparked a wave of humility and curiosity across nations, or it might have handed empires a powerful new tool for domination. But here's the undeniable truth. Leonardo da Vinci's dream of mankind lifting itself through reason and invention would mark the moment when we stopped merely gazing at the heavens and began to join them.